Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode where I rant at the screen and you listen to me, and it's gonna be another one. So, when you have trouble keeping up with the news, I'm here to help. And this is me telling you that Trump is a liar. That isn't news on its own. But he is lying again, so it's as they say, another day. Says that Ukraine started the war. What are the facts? This is AP News. They say he falsely blames Ukraine for starting the war. Say Trump had said that President Zelensky is a dictator without elections. That's ignoring the fact that the country has been at war for 3 years now and is partially occupied, about 20% occupied, I think. 15-20% of its land is occupied. Millions of people have fled the country, and many more are currently fighting on the front lines or being bombed in their homes. Yeah, it was a little hard to have an election, so the parliament of Ukraine declared martial law. Boosh. Like, and even just a little bit of empathy would make us be more understanding of that, but Trump doesn't have empathy. Trump is just mad that the 50% of rare earth mineral resources that Ukraine has, they're not just willing to give it to America for continued support. They are being invaded. They need support. That is the whole reason why America helped during World War I and World War II. It was such great business until it became too personal, and then the Americans had to get involved, or felt the need to get involved. You see, the whole thing about World War II is that at the time they had this thing called the League of Nations, and the League of Nations was sort of this entity after World War I to try and prevent large-scale wars and ruinous arms races. Hence the treaties of London, limiting naval sizes, and etc., etc. But you see, the thing is, Ukraine was invaded in 2014. I know some of you have really short attention spans. This was over 10 years ago now, and it seems like forever ago. But do any of you remember this? Do any of you remember the troops that didn't have any flag insignias that suddenly just showed up in the DPR and LPR? Do you remember Russia invading Georgia over Abkhazia? No? 2009? I want to say 2008? Russia invades Georgia. Yep, 2008. A South Ossetian. Not the Abkhazian ones per se, but yeah. So Russia has been doing this invading its neighbors stuff quite a bit. And somehow half of America seems to have forgotten that. And I think that they have forgotten that because we live in such a society of perpetual ads and distractions and buy this, do this. Are you tired? Do you want more out of life? Are you a sad failure? Can you do more? Blah 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 blah. Just buy this. This will change your life. Follow the 3 secret steps to winning at capitalism. Blah 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 blah. It's fucking bullshit. The times Trump has advocated for violence. Let's talk about that for a moment, because this kind of gets back into the whole part of how he is a fascist. He regularly says things that mimic the rhetoric of previous fascists, and He displays all of the same characteristics. He is anti-intellectual. He will give you any opinion about any scientific thing in the world because he says he has such a smart brain, and yet he somehow got COVID. And he looked straight into the eclipse when he was told not to. He's not a genius. He's a moron. He's been losing money since he took over his father's business. He's been losing money hand over fist. He's got so many conflicts of interest that other people would be willing to put to the side, but not Trump. Trump needs the money because his business empire is failing. Maybe that's partially why he needed so many billionaires to fund him and become his shadow dictator. Yeah, I'm just looking at all this. When the looting starts, the shooting starts. Racist history. I'm sure he just said it out of nowhere. If a city or state refuses to take the actions necessary to defend the life and property of the residents, then I will deploy the United States military and quickly resolve the problem for them. We could fix Portland in, I would say, 45 minutes. There has to be retribution. You can't have politics without hurting people. Telling the far right Proud Boys that they should stand back and stand by. Stand by for what? New orders? We're going to walk down to that Capitol. You'll never take back our country with weakness. Fascists are obsessed with the image of strength. They are anti-intellectual. They glorify violence. They prop up the status quo at the expense of fighting against all of the minorities. Just think about Herr Hitler. You remember that guy, Herr Hitler? What's the poem? First, They Came For poem by Martin Niemöller. First they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. Who does Trump hate? Unions, socialists, communists? Elon is the definite anti-Semite. He's constantly posting things about how he thinks that Jews are secretly ruling the world and blah 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 blah. Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it, so the saying goes. But you know what I think? I think history is just cyclical in a manner because we are not our parents. We are not our grandparents. We grow up into this world and form our own opinions, and we adapt old ideas. We make ideas into our own, and we combine things and ideas that people before never thought that they should maybe combine. Nothing is necessarily new, but you are. What we're doing right now, this is new. Is there a bunch of poverty in America? Maybe it has something to do with all the billionaires who suddenly went from 1 billion in 2016 to 300 billion. How did the billionaires go from 1 billion to 300 billion and the rest of us went from bank accounts to starving on the street? I just want to know. Anyway, it's just a thought. Hopefully they recorded this one right, and I hope you all have a good day. I want to say that again. I hope all of you have a good day. I don't care if you agree with me or not. I don't care. My politics are not so flimsy and capricious that if you disagree with me or you have bad politics, that I hope bad things for you. A lot of people believe bad things because they haven't been paying attention. And so now they've been filled up with these emotions about, we need to save our kids, we need to save our students, we need to save our country. And yeah, those sentiments are golden. I absolutely empathize with them 100%. I would love to save our country. I don't think we can save our country by brutalizing its people. That's what a fascist thinks. Anyway, it was just a thought. Hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.